DEI is done. President Donald Trump signed in an executive order today that will end DEI in the federal government. What's that mean for you and your family? We're going to talk about it next. I done a video what DEI is and how it worked about a year ago. If you want to go down and take a look at it, but we're going to get into to how it's going to affect you, how it's going to affect your family, right after this. Hello, I'm Evangelist E.R. Hotard, and this is pretty much a follow-up video of what I did over a year ago about DEI. DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And on the surface, what a lot of liberals do is they make things sound really good. They make them sound really helpful. But what it really is, it's really putting Christian values to the side and getting to the and pushing everything that is anti-Christ. This is an anti-Christ agenda. DEI has nothing to do with race and everything to do with the anti-Christ and a one-world government. I had went through it a year ago. There wasn't a whole lot of views, so go back and watch this video. It's very interesting. But let me show you real quick on this. This is the goal for 2030. For one, number one, it says no poverty, which that sounds good. Zero hunger. Oh yeah, that's a great thing. Good health and well-being. That could mean a lot of different things for the healthcare system and things that you may not like, and it could mean a lot of wait times going in the doctors. Quality education. Okay, here's another one. Quality education. Who decides what quality education is? Quality education. What we was seeing was they was pushing transgender. They was pushing gays. They was pushing the LGBT agenda down the throats of the people and throwing it into our schools, teaching kids at a young age about sex and a bunch of garbage. It's absolutely disgusting. Gender equality. That means they're putting these men that's dressing as women, women that dressing as men, and being able to put them in any place that they want. That's what that's what DEI has been doing. Other ones is clean water, affordable energy. That all sounds good. Depends on what they mean of affordable and clean energy. We could go into all of that. They're talking about solar panels, and basically what that's doing is getting rid of fossil fuels of what we know as oil. Oil is the what makes our country rich. It makes our country sustainable, and oil brings in a lot of money for our government, for jobs, and for tax money, and it really sets us apart in the world. But let's go back to what we're talking about. Number five, gender equality. Gender equality means that we're going to push. They're going to push all of these things in your jobs, in your schools, and what we've been seeing with all of these things, and the boys are absolutely tearing up women's sports because so-called gender equality. DEI, it's basically now if you think you're a woman, then we're going to push it. It was going so far as when they have little kids that don't know, they all of a sudden we've never had a whole lot of this, and all of a sudden it comes up then gender dysphoria with all these little kids, and they was pushing them to get surgeries. I've heard awful stories about boys being mutilated and cut their private parts off, and because they had gender dysphoria. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's demonic. It's completely demonic. And I've been preaching a lot about this, that the devil is out to steal your identity. This is one of the ways the devil has done it. He's out to steal your identity. It is absolutely demonic. And because it's demonic, now it goes all the way back to one world order, the Antichrist. This is an Antichrist agenda. I'm sorry if you hear my dog coughing. I have an old dog in the background. He's kind of on his last leg. Um, but this is an Antichrist agenda. And let's see what was happening on Fox News.
Away from the end of all DEI programs in those dedicated departments in the federal government. The Office of Personnel Management is set at 5 p.m. Eastern to meet the deadline for all government agencies to close those offices, and the employees, for at least the time being, will be on paid administrative leave. That follows President Trump's executive orders to bring an end to DEI and to make America merit-based. So he's going to do that at the federal level and restore the importance of our individual efforts within the workforce. During his inaugural address, President Trump made very clear his intentions to create a colorblind society.
I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
What he means by merit-based, meaning you're going to do it on your abilities and not on skin color and not on your gender or all these different genders. Donald Trump is one of the first things he's done in office is get rid of all of this DEI stuff, get rid of it in the government, solidify with executive order and make a definition of what a man and a woman is, and there's only two genders. The reason why this is important is because they're pushing all these other genders, and so-called you can have 130 different genders, confusing young people. It's absolutely insanity. There's no different. There's only two genders. That's it, male and female, just like the Bible says. And all of this other stuff is garbage. And now the left is going to try to protect their own. They're going to try to protect what they did. What happened was back 4 years ago, from January 20th, 4 years ago, when Biden got into office, one of the first things he did, he set up DEI in the federal government. Now, what that did was the federal government could subsidize any and all businesses to be able to teach this to their employees. I started going through different corporations and businesses that had DEI incorporated into their business. And even one I couldn't believe was Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A had DEI. So now I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to stop right here because I believe that everybody is important. I believe everybody needs a chance. Even if they don't believe with my views, that has nothing to do with what DEI does. DEI was discriminatory. They're basically, because of your sex, because of what you identified, you had to hire so many of them. You had to hire so many. You had to hire so many of a certain color, and you had a lot of people that's not getting jobs that's well qualified to, and they're underqualified, having to be hired because of their gender or so-called of who they date, and not merit-based like what Donald Trump is saying. This is a different, and you think about this too. All of the people that's coming in from the southern border that you don't know who they are, and we're having to house these people, and you're having to support all of these people. Then you have to, because DEI you're going to have to be able to hire them, you have to be able to support them, you have to put them up, because you could discriminate against anybody, even if they're in this country illegally. So he's shutting the border down. He's shutting the DEI down. DEI was a bad program. It was a horrible program. And what it did was a one world government ploy to get closer to the Antichrist. I truly believe these 4 years with Donald Trump, and I can tell you, and people that know me, I have been supportive of Donald Trump, but I have been also at a distance with Donald Trump. There's a lot of things as a Christian I don't like about Donald Trump. For one, he was asked in an interview, and I hope it's different now. He said he's a Christian, and they asked him, "Have you ever been asked the Lord to forgive you for your sins?" And he says, "Well, I didn't need to because I don't think I've done anything wrong. I feel like I've done pretty well in my life, and I think I've uh, done so many things that I don't really need forgiveness for." That is absolutely wrong. That is not biblical. And until he comes out, I cannot say that Donald Trump is a Christian. I can say that Donald Trump is put into place by God. God has used a lot of people. God even used a donkey. He used a chicken to have an anointed crow. So if God can use a donkey, he can definitely use you and me and Donald Trump. But I believe Donald Trump is put in place for a reason. I believe that's why he wasn't killed by that gunshot that hit his ear. I forgot what the guy's name is, but he prophesied about about it hitting Donald Trump's ear. He's prophesied a couple things. I forget the prophet's name. I've been listening to him here lately, and I think he does a really good job. But also with DEI, and I'm so happy to see it going away because now they're going to have to take this stuff out of our schools. Thank you, America, for finally standing up and saying this is not right. I have a daughter in female sports, and I do not want to put her playing against men. I don't want her playing against these older boys. I've coached a co-ed team to the point where they're getting at the age where the boys was so much stronger than the girls. And it's unfair. It's an unfair advantage. They need to play with their own, boys with boys and girls with girls. I don't care what anybody says. That's how it should be. God created men with more physical strength than he did women, but also that doesn't make women weaker in all aspects. There's a lot of things that women do a lot better than men, and we can get into that another day. But men and women very much complement each other. I've been married almost 25 years. A husband and a wife should complement each other. So when it's done right, when it's done biblical, husband and wife will always complement each other. That's why we're made different. We're made different for a reason. But in this case, the boys are just that much stronger. Now, on the other hand, girls mature a lot faster than boys. These boys are absolutely immature, but they're bigger, they're stronger. So there's two different things right there, and that they're totally different. And why in the world are we cutting healthy body parts off of underage kids? If you want to do that as you get older, I don't agree with it, but more power to you. You can go do your thing, but leave the kids alone. And that's where they messed up. That they've been pushing it, and they pushed it as early as kindergarten and first grade and teaching these kids about sex. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it has to stop. I thank you for Donald Trump for being able to stand up and push against this liberal garbage that's being forced down the American throats. Now you have people like Unreverend Jackson. I'll call him Unreverend because I'm a reverend. He's an unreverend. Unreverend Jesse Jackson about what he was saying, and he's going to take the opportunity to make as much money as he can off of this. Let's hear what he's got to say right now.
Why do we have DEI? We had DEI because you denied us diversity. You denied us equity. You denied us inclusion. DEI was a remedy to the racial institutional bigotry practiced in academia and in these corporations. Now you want to put us back in the back of the bus. We gonna do the Dr. King Rosa Parks on you.
That had nothing to do with it. DEI had everything to do with a one world order to try to line up with what the 2030 world. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this back up. Sustainable development goals. I believe this came from the World Health Organization, if I remember right. But this is a world. They want this for the whole world. This is not just America, and they're pushing this on a world level. We have a 4-year reprieve with Donald Trump in office. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to look to and just sit back? Okay, we made it. No, absolutely not. I want everybody, if you ever had a thought of having a YouTube channel, it's time to stand up. On my other YouTube channel, Faith and Power Podcast, I'm doing some advertising. It's unreal the amount of hate that I get, especially from atheists and other so-called Christians. Which, look, when you're doing things in the public eye, you're going to get hate. That's just part of it. But I call this the militant atheistic group. What they do is they have groups of their own. Look, most people think of an atheist as, oh, well, you don't believe in God. That's it. Something I don't believe in. It's not that at all. And there's probably people that believe that, and probably people that okay, I'm an atheist, I just don't believe in your God, whatever. This is what I call a militant atheistic group. What they do is they have their own groups on Facebook, they spread all of their atheistic views in this group. But then also they'll take preachers and they'll take sermons and they'll put them in there, make fun of him, and with all these people, sometimes hundreds and thousands of people, put him in there and say, hey, go to their page and go attack them. So now you have attacks coming from every different way because of these militant atheists. It's not good enough for them to just go not believe, but they have to try to destroy Christianity. It is satanic and it's antichrist. It's an antichrist spirit in America today, and it has been getting really, really bad over this time with Biden in office. I don't know who was really running the government, because I don't believe Biden was running the government. And I have my thoughts, but I won't share them here. But I do not believe for a second Biden really ran and did all of the things he did. I believe that there was other people involved in it. So, but today is a good day. Thank God for Donald Trump and what he's doing, because he's standing up for America. He's standing up for what's right. He's standing up for the children. And guess what? I believe what you're going to see is you're going to see the minorities, like our African American brothers and sisters, that you're going to see them. They're going to have the most jobs that they've had in years. And it happened under Trump the first time. It will happen again. Unemployment's going to drop. You're going to see jobs opening up. He's going to bring a lot of manufacturing back to America because of some of the things that he's doing. You can disagree with me all you want. Some of you will disagree with me. That's fine. You go right ahead. But I've seen what he did the first time, and this time he don't have to worry about re-election. And he's going to understand the absolute depths that the liberals will go to try to destroy him, and he won't. And he'll be a lot more protective. And he was, when the first round, he did a lot, but he was battling on the defense. This time he's coming in, guns a blazing. Can't wait to see what President Trump's going to do next. I wanted you to like, subscribe. Also, my other YouTube channel. This particular YouTube channel, sometimes it could be politics. I may put preaching on it. It's going to be kind of a mixture. We'll always talk about the Lord, talk about how it's going to affect your life, how it's going to affect your family. But also our Faith and Power podcast is really more concentrated on the gospel, the word, getting people free from all the demonic oppression. So go back, like our channel, the Faith and Power Podcast. We also have a website you can contact us on. It's called faithandpowerpodcast.com. faithandpowerpodcast.com. I'm Evangelist E.R. Hotard, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.